Hey guys, good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's All-Star Hangout. This is your Royal Ambassador, Rachel Jackson, calling in from Houston, Texas. It feels so good to be back on U.S. soil. You're probably wondering, where the heck is she? I'm actually in my theater room. You can kind of see some of the blackout shades, and I got the screen up over here. We are moving, and so I'm doing this the last ever hangout from the lodge, which is our lovely, amazing, massively huge golf course home that we've remodeled over the last year and a half. And we're here back in the States just to move, just to sell it, and to see our amazing team members. It feels so good to be back here in North America. As many of you guys have been following, Josh and I have been living in Europe the past month. We're about to leave here again in a few days for several more weeks, and can't wait to be spending more time over building in Europe over the next coming months and into the summer, hopefully escaping the Texas heat. But, you know, our heart's still in Texas, our family's still here, and of course, we have a commitment to you guys and cannot wait to hit the road in the next couple of weeks, seeing many of you guys in your local markets at local success training, at Visalis overviews, and then of course, don't forget, in the middle of April, we'll see you all in Fort Lauderdale at our national success training. That leaves me to ask you, are you registered? Have you registered yet for the national success training? If you have not yet registered, go to nst.vi.com and register tonight. See, all leaders, they go to events. Leaders don't miss events. Leaders don't, skip events. They go there for the education. And I have a feeling that we're going to be launching a new product. You might have heard about it. You might have sampled it. You might have been seeing Facebook absolutely blow up with it. Well, there's going to be some news on that product here coming up very soon at our National Success Training. But guys, I just wanted to hop on. I don't have a ton really planned for tonight, but I wanted to speak with you. I wanted to see you. I wanted you to see me. And I just missed you guys so much. It feels so good to be on a hangout. But I figured, I was talking with two-star ambassador Patty Rotman, who's actually on the other side of the computer. Hi, Mom. How's it going? And so we're actually moving here tonight and getting everything packed up. And I said, I want to talk to the team. What should I share with them? And she's like, well, we could talk about pools, or we could talk about events, or we could talk about product. And I actually just got off of the challenge trainer call for all of our customers in the community. And so I was like, you know what should we really talk about? What does the team really need? What's something that I wanted to share? And I really wanted to share about a millionaire mindset and really, traits of becoming a millionaire. And it's funny that, over the last 4 years, oh, by the way, today is our 4-year anniversary with Visalis. It's our Viversary, 4 years. February 23rd, 2011, our life changed forever because we joined this amazing company. And I made a post today about how we progressed, how, 4 years ago, we were 6 figures in debt. We were bankrupt. We were, we had no real prospects for a business or for a job. And now I've made millions of dollars. We paid off all of our debt, became financially free. The fact that 4 years ago, we didn't even own a passport. And now we've been to 16 countries, funded and paid for by Visalis. The fact that 4 years ago, we couldn't afford to give back. We weren't contributing to anybody's life. And now we've created this amazing life where we are basically paid to serve others, are paid to raise up new leaders. And we're also taking 10% or more of our income every month and giving it back to charities and to orphanages and really giving to those that are extremely less fortunate. By the way, that we've also lost 40 and 20 pounds, respectively. 40 pounds for Josh, 20 pounds for me. And, thinking about 4 years ago, how we were overweight, overstressed, overfat, tired all the time, our life has dramatically changed. And beyond the fact of just becoming a millionaire, a lot of people say in their life that they want to be a millionaire. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. But what does a millionaire really do? How do they really think? What are some of the traits that they hold? And I got a couple of notes of what I believe are the traits of a millionaire. And after spending a lot of time with individuals like Ernest Ross and Kevin Merriweather and Tara Wilson and Aaron Fortner, and of course, Nick and Ashley Sarnicola and Jason O'Toole, some of our top leaders, Kyle Passetti, I found that these millionaires, they all have very similar traits. There's things that are very consistent. They're not always identical, but man, 90% of the way that they kind of think and the way that they structure their day and how they handle situations, there's a lot of overlap. There's a lot of similarities. There's also traits of broke people. There's a lot of things that broke people do, and what we call the 98 percenters. But what did the top 1% of the 1%, and what does the top 1% do? How do millionaires really go about their day? How could you become a millionaire? Well, let's talk about some of these traits, how you can go from where you're currently sitting right now, which might be $1,000 a month, might be $5,000 a month in your job, might be $10,000 a month in your job, or even $30,000 a month in your career, to going and becoming a millionaire with ViSalus. Well, the first thing I would say that all millionaires is that they are accountable. They are accountable. They're accountable to somebody. And a lot of people really shy away from accountability. And the reason is because accountability, or the lack thereof, allows people to hide. Allows people to hide and say, like, hey, nobody, I don't have to really tell people about my progress. I don't really have to tell people if I made calls today. I don't really have to share my activity. I can kind of hide. I don't know. Nobody's checking in on me. I can hide behind the keyboard and behind Facebook. And, I don't have to send in, my parties to anybody or my follow-ups to anybody, right? I don't have that sort of accountability. There should be somebody in your life that you're accountable to, that's willing, that you have given permission to speak into your life, so that they can tell you, hey, you're showing up or you're not. Hey, you're playing at this level, but you could be playing at here, this level. So there's got to be somebody that you're accountable to. And in that accountability, there's got to be a relationship understanding of no excuses. One trait I've always seen of really successful individuals and millionaires and the top 5-star ambassadors and beyond is they live in a no excuse reality. No excuses. A great example today, we were working on an international calendar with Nick, and we're working as a team, to deal with 11 countries now, many ambassadors, many marketplaces, and we're trying to build out a calendar for March. And the problem is the international call was at like 10 a.m. and I had a call at 7 a.m. Well, my 7 a.m. call, by the time it got done, typed up, and we got all the dates set in, and I got them over to the assistant, it wasn't in time for the 10 a.m. call. It just was too quick. There was just like an hour or two in between. And unfortunately, my dates, my events that I booked were not on the international call. They weren't on the second call. And this sounds like, well, what is she really talking about? Well, here's the problem. I created a little bit of a stir this morning because I didn't get my dates in on time. And I could have made an excuse and saying, well, these ambassadors, they didn't want to do the call till Monday. Or, well, I was moving. Or, well, I was this. There was no excuse. I made the mistake. I should have had the call earlier. I should have outsourced the call. I should have done something. And my response was, listen, hey, totally my fault. Next month, I'm going to do the call a day earlier so you have the dates in time. No excuses, guys. You could say, hey, I'm not a 5-star ambassador yet because I don't know enough people. No excuses. Oh, I'm not a regional director yet because nobody returns my calls. No excuses. Oh, I'm not an ambassador yet because my team's not motivated. No excuses. You have to have a no excuse mantra in your life. Players and winners and champions, they live by no excuses. They just get it done. Remember when we talked about at the beginning of the year, if you were on our goal setting webinars, we talked about GSD, get done, right? GSD, no excuses, just get it done. Traits of a millionaire, number 3. And number 1, they're accountable. Number 2, they live no excuses. Number 3 is that they are proactive, not reactive, meaning they're proactive with their calendar. They're proactive with prospecting. They're proactive with personal growth. They're intentional. Intentional is a great word, right? So many people, 98% of the population, they live their day by appointment to appointment, by job to sitters, to soccer practice, to this, to that. And by the time they get a breath in the day, it's 10 p.m. and they're exhausted and they're ready to go to bed. And even if they're not that busy, and even if they're not that scheduled, time just slips away because people are reactive. They react when the baby cries. They react when the dog pukes. They react when, a promoter's throwing a hissy fit. They're reactive. They're reacting when something bad happens or something good happens. They're reactive when they feel like doing something. Being proactive and intentional means this is my goal. This is my to-do list. This is the small things that I need to achieve. These are the the 5 most important tasks that got to get done today, or today's an epic failure. And they get those things done. They book their NST ticket now because they're proactive, not reactive. Some people might say, well, I'm only going to go to NST if I start making $1,000 a month. Well, maybe you need to go to NST to learn how to make $1,000 a month, to go get trained by millionaire mentors to learn how to make that kind of money. You know, oh, I'm only going to download Vet and subscribe to Vet, you know, which is our new incredible back office training. I'm only going to subscribe to that, which is, by the way, probably some of the sickest training I've ever seen. When you click on your training, let me see if I can see that. Go back to my camera. That, so you guys go to your Vinet Pro on your phone. Isn't this the largest phone ever? Have you ever seen a phone this large? The size of my face. The size, it's a face phone. All right, training. Click on training. Vet. Some of you guys have not been proactive in subscribing to Vet. There's already been 30 trainings uploaded, and we got about 12 to 14 more. We're gonna have new trainings every single month. This is your millionaire mindset right here. This is your millionaire mindset on the go. You can only have this type of, you know, interaction for 25 minutes, maybe once a week, and often it's not always a millionaire hosting this call. Sometimes we have PDs or national directors hosting this call, which are great. It's awesome to see new leaders stepping up and doing that. But this is your personal development on the run. Are you proactive and intentional with your personal growth? Are you listening to this every day? Are you on the treadmill listening to, oh, I love Kyle Passetti's building philosophy. If you guys have not seen this one, Kyle Passetti's building philosophy, it is awesome. This is about 30 minutes long. And Kyle Passetti, you can see him, he's like swimming. So good. Are you proactive about how you're growing? Or are you just hoping and praying that someday you're going to get a good mindset? And someday you're going to be positive, and someday you're going to get the skills, and someday you're going to be able to close, and someday you're going to have a team that you're going to be able to lead. Just someday, maybe, possibly, potentially. I hope and pray that I get it done. Or are you being intentional, listening and growing? Guys, go to vet.vi.com and subscribe. Vet.vi.com, VET for Vi Events and Training.com. Subscribe. Guys, all the vet people were on the Don Yeager webinar last night. It was incredible. And if you missed it and you are a subscriber, don't worry, they're going to edit it and put it right here in your back office so you can watch it. So guys, make sure that you're intentional. You're not reactive. Number 4, laser focusing. When I look at millionaires, they can laser focus on something, meaning they're not distracted. They're not distracted by the social media gossip. They're not distracted by, oh, I read something online, a little whoosy who saying whatsy what on the bloggity blogs. Like that, Josh. That's our favorite line. Guys, they're not distracted. Yes, there's going to be noise on Facebook. There's people that get so distracted by even when a friend says something bad on their Project 10 video. What? Like, if somebody of your friends on Facebook says something negative on one of your Visalis posts, just delete it. And if they're continually negative, poke them and block them. Poke and block. Poke and block. Poke and block. Just get rid of them, right? Do not be distracted by noise, right? Be laser focused. If you have an hour a day, 1 hour a day to build Visalis, and it might start off on only an hour a day. Dina Brock started off on only 1 hour a day. Many of our top promoters start off on a very, very, very small amount of time. So if you have 1 hour a day to build Visalis, you need to be laser focused. And that means that in that 1 hour, like a challenge hour, you set a timer, 60 minutes. And this is really easy to do if you have your phone. You can go to your little clock on your phone. You can set your timer. I'm going to show you this. I'm doing it as I speak. You can do it for like 60 minutes. Press start, and then the timer is going to start going off. And as soon as that timer is done, you know you're done making calls. So it's kind of a game. How many calls can you make? How many texts can you send out? How many Facebook messages can you respond to? How many invitations can you have for your party? How many no's can you get? Yeah, go for no, right? Just go for it. Go for it and see how many you can do in 1 hour. And this will keep you really, really on task. Doing something like this, it used to be that you'd set like an egg timer or something. Use your phone. Use the timer on it and get tasks done. It's the same thing for doing like Facebook. I'm a big fan of Facebook. Shout out to Justin Sanchez, who's killing it on Facebook right now. Amanda, Christine, you're killing it on Facebook right now. Jen Smith, Amy Vertuccio, Patty Rodman. You guys are all killing it on Facebook. But I'm telling you guys, they don't just do Facebook. They set specific times, like, hey, between 10 and midnight, I'm going to do Facebook. You know, Patty will have I know she's full time, so she has a lot more time, but she'll set aside like an hour or two in the day where she doesn't have three-way calls, she doesn't have parties or one-on-ones or, you know, what other business building activities. She's like, listen, I'm going to focus entirely on Facebook. Set a timer if you need be. If you get distracted, you got to learn how to laser focus. Number 5, traits of a millionaire. A millionaire are always goal-oriented. They're always goal-oriented. If you were to ask a millionaire, what's your goal? 99 times out of 100, 999,999 out of a million, they have a goal. They have something that they're shooting for, whether it be a rank, whether it be an income, whether it be a position, whether it be some contribution, whether it be something that they're creating. They have a goal. But it's crazy because like 87% of the population, they don't have goals. They don't have goals. They don't even have them, you know, if they do have them goals, they don't even have them written down. So what is your goal? You got to set a goal every month. You know, we're closing out February right now. What is your goal for February? You might say, oh, well, you know, it's too late in February to have a goal. Well, that's a mindset of a 98%er, of somebody that'll stay broke, somebody that waits for the perfect circumstance and waits till Monday to start a diet and waits till next month or next year or never to get financially free. But if you want to change your life, you need to change what you're doing. You need to change your habits. You need to change your thinking. Stop waiting till the next month to set a goal. Set a goal tonight. It's time to set a goal. Maybe that goal is to get one customer. Maybe the goal is to get one executive promoter. Maybe the goal is to finally get rid of your excuses and your fear and your doubts long enough to actually go after your dreams, go after your goal with full abandon and say, hey, I'm going to go put in 3 executives. I'm going to hit the promoter pool. I'm going to make $1,000 this month, and I'm going to go show all my friends that comma check so that they realize how valid ViSalus of a business really is. What is your goal this month? Is your goal to grow your GQV by 10 or 20%? Is your goal to help break a director on your team? Is it to help 3 people on your team go 3 for free? What is your goal? Write it down. Set that goal and do not stop until you hit it. Number 6, they think big. They think with vision. When I think about the traits of a millionaire, millionaires always think with massive vision. They see what's possible. You know, do you really see what's possible with ViSalus? You know what I see? I see a global company that not only is the #1 provider of healthy fast food, that has actually become a household name in many, many, many countries around the world. When you open up a British pantry 5 years from now, or an American pantry 5 years from now, Canadian pantry 5 years from now, maybe even an Asian pantry, you're going to see ViSalus many times out of 100. You're going to go and see different products on the shelves. When you ask people if they've heard of ViSalus, many people will have heard it. I really believe that. I believe that ViSalus will be the largest company in direct sales. It'll be the #1 company. It'll beat Amway. It'll beat Avon. It'll beat Herbalife. I believe it because I've seen what we've already done in just a few countries with a few products. And imagine in 2020, when we're in 50 countries, we're in 11 now. Imagine what it'll look like when we're in 50 countries. And instead of 2 meals and 2 snacks, and depending on what country you're in, a drink or 2 or 3, imagine we have an entire menu of healthy fast food, of drinks, of snacks, of healthy meals that are designed to help you lose weight, build muscle, anti-aging, extra energy, feeling good, recovery muscle, that fit into your daily lifestyle, that taste good but also save you money. How many of you guys know that there's millions? No, there's tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people, and dare I even say billions, that could leverage this and use this and that would love ViSalus. I know it to be true because for the first time in our world, over 2 billion people on the planet are overweight. 2 billion people on this planet overweight or obese. It's the first time in human history that more people are overweight than are actually not eating enough, are malnourished. So every day, more people are eating too much than are not getting enough to eat. If you don't think we got something big here, You must have been sleeping the last 3 minutes. You must have missed it. You must have blinked. You must have been distracted and checking Facebook on your phone instead of learning from a millionaire on how you could grow and learn and how you could, expand your mind about what's possible. If a 26-year-old college dropout like myself can come into ViSalus with virtually zero success in traditional network marketing, yeah, I had some sales success. I did. I made a couple grand a month in a sales company before. I had a couple actually really good months in mortgages. And then the next month I'd make $500 because that's a hero to zero type of industry. But in traditional network marketing, very, very little success. And if a 26-year-old college dropout can come in here and come into a company like Vi, back when we just had a shake, when our cookies were as stale as a hockey puck. I mean, it was like, my phone is a prop tonight, by the way. This is the largest phone I've ever seen in my life. Our cookies were awful. We didn't have a mobile app when I got started. We didn't have challenge groups. We didn't have Go. We didn't have Pro. We didn't have Bites. We didn't have Crunch. We didn't have Crunch. Can you believe that? Can you even imagine a world without Crunch right now? Tear. I can't even imagine it. And we had instead of an overview, which you guys, if you've not seen the new overview, go to overview.vi.com and watch the new second half of the video. Nick killed it back to a stage presentation. We had a little slideshow. And we just click next, 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 next. And we go through the presentation. And that was about it. And we had challenge parties. And that was pretty much it. We didn't really even have a back office. The last 3 days of the month, we never had a back office. It was always down. Guys, and if a 26-year-old college dropout can come in here with virtually really any success in business, but come into ViSalus and make $2.8, almost $2.9 million in 4 years, what could you do? What could you do? What are we going to do for here in the next 4 years together? Who's going to be that next 7-figure earner on our team, 6-figure earner, $1,000 a month earner? We're going to create tens of thousands of those stories, my friends, over the next coming years. Tens of thousands of people on this team, on the ViSalus All-Stars, making $1,000 a month. And you get to be a part of that. But you need to think big. You need to have vision. You need to understand this is more than a shake. This is more than just getting people on a shake, on a balance kit. No, we are changing people's eating habits. We are altering their lifestyle. We are helping them transform the way that they view their fitness and their nutrition. How exciting is that? Also, in closing, traits of a millionaire. So they're accountable, no excuses, they're proactive, not reactive, they're laser focused, meaning they don't get distracted, they're goal oriented, they think big, and lastly, they take massive action. Now, most people are like, how big is massive? Like, what's massive? Massive. Like, they don't just take action, they take massive action. And whatever action you're thinking of, just times it by like 10, times it by 5, times it by 20. They take massive action. People ask all the time, they're like, how many calls should I make in a day? As many as you can. Like, why would you stop? Like, at what point do you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm going to make 5 calls and I hit my goal of 5. It's 8:30, but I hit my goal of 5. And so I hit it. I'm not going to make any more calls. Why would you stop? If you have time, why would you stop? If there's still light outside, if there's still, you still got a couple hours of a call on the West Coast, why would you stop? Why would you stop making calls? Why would you just pat yourself on the back and be like, oh, I did enough? Well, enough is never going to get you filthy rich. Enough is never going to put you in the 1%. Enough is, it's not even enough. 5 isn't enough. Not if you want to create momentum. Here's the crazy thing about taking massive action. There's a weird sort of intuition with this industry that it's easier to go slow. It's not. This business is always easier to go fast. And it's so counterintuitive. We always think like, oh, we should take it slow. We should, put our foot in the water. We should test it out, right? We should, just try it out. And we don't want to get hurt. And, I want to be able to manage it. I don't want to have too many people to message back. Like, oh my God, heaven forbid I placed an ad and I have 100 people respond to it. Like, how could I ever get back to everyone? Like, I'll place a little ad, or I'll just talk to 5 people today, or I'll put 10 people in my funnel and I'll just work those 10 people. No, here's the crazy thing. It's always easier to go fast. Whenever you get into momentum, physics says it takes more energy to get an object in motion than it does to keep it in motion. It takes more energy to get the object moving, guys, than to keep it moving. So you want to go take massive action. My first 7 days, I made 150 calls. My first 7 days, I made 150 calls. Of those 150, 10 of them signed up right away. Those 10 signed up right away. A couple of them did something. And in my first 10 days, we qualified for our BMW. We made about $4 grand. See, people ask me, was that hard? No, going slow would have been harder. See, what happened was I created such a story. In 10 days, $4 grand in a free BMW. What do you think I told everybody else? What do you think the 151st call sounded like? What do you think the 151st call sounded like? It says, I just joined this challenge. I've lost 4 pounds. I made $4 grand. I qualified for a BMW. You got to take a look. You got to check this out. See, you've got to go create a story. And it doesn't matter if you've been in for 4 years with me. It doesn't matter if you've been in for 3 years or 2 years or 1 year or 1 month. It doesn't matter. Today, you got to go create a story. And so your story begins from the time that you decide. It begins from the time that you say, you know what? I'm going to go all out. I'm going to go and take massive action. I'm going to call more people this week to go to see what happens. See, what's the worst that could happen? You take massive action. Worst case that's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of no's. But you know what? That's the best case, because in the fact of when you get more no's, you're going to get more yeses. Those that take massive action, they get the energy, they get the passion, they get the excitement. They put so many people into their funnel. And your funnel of sales, you're putting people in, you're putting people in, you're putting people in, and you get enough people in that somehow at some point it just overflows and people start to come out. People start to say yes. People start to enroll. You got to get people in. Most people, they put 2 people in and then they just stare waiting. I hope one of them pops out. I hope one of them is a yes. I talked to my 3 best friends. I hope they join. No, go talk to 30. Go talk to 30 between now and Thursday night at midnight. Go run yourself director again as if you're expiring rising star by the end of the month. Imagine that everything that you desired in life, everything that you cared for in your life, everything that was the most important, whether it be a painting, whether it be a dog, whether it be a 5-year-old child, what is the most important thing to you in life? What is the most important object or person in your life? Imagine that was in a 2-story building that was on fire, and you know it's on fire, and your child is in there, or your dog is in there, or something that you really care about is in that house. What would you do? Would you stand, back, and would you say, oh, well, you know what? CSI is on. I'll get to it later. I'll go rescue the cat later. Or, I'm going to browse Facebook for a little bit. No, you would go in and you would go and rescue the child. You would go get your cat, you'd get your dog, you go get all of your precious belongings if they were truly that important to you. So go take massive action, guys, to run this week like it was the most important week of your life. Close out February like you've never done before. Go put so many people in your pipeline that you're setting up for running national this year to qualify for equity, or national by next month. Hell, I hit national in 24 days. If one human has done it, so can another. If somebody has achieved something in this life, like the Bannister effect of running a mile in 4 minutes, nobody ever thought that was humanly possible. They didn't think anybody could run a mile in 4 minutes. And then Roger Bannister did it. And guess what? Over 30 people did it the following year, because he created the Bannister effect. So if I've done it, if 52 other people have become a millionaire, if 800 people have reached 6 figures, if 18,000 people have qualified for a BMW in the last 5 years of Visalis, why can't you? Guys, begin to change your mind today. Make sure you guys upload to Vet. And tonight we have a very special vision call. I'm going to get you the login here in a second. It's starting right now. Let me just open this up. Hope you had fun here tonight. A little off-the-cuff training action. All right. So dial in to this call right now. We got the vision call starting with Tara Wilson and Mike Craig, 832-225-5050. The pin code is 20304#. That's 832-225-5050, 20304#, guys. Jump on. We will see you on the vision call. I have a feeling there's going to be a neon offer. Neon! Go order, go order. Talk to you then. Bye, guys.